All right, let's schmooze, guys. We're Brad.
By the way, on Thursday, programming note, our Valentine's Day special is going to be 12 noon.
Yes, we could make sure everybody knows.
We should remind everybody we're going to be on our regular time on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at some point after 5:30. But on Thursday, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, New York Seaboard Time, or Eastern Seaboard Time, I guess. So out west, it would be 11:10, 9 in the morning.
Yeah, be early.
Right.
An early morning show for y'all.
But if you're going to be drinking tea with the Queen, it would be 5 hours later at 5 p.m.
Yes.
in London.
Yeah.
Correct?
Correct.
Right?
Yes, but that's not
And if you were in Africa,
yes.
How many hours is ahead? 7.
7.
7 hours ahead.
Yes.
So it'd be 7 p.m. in Africa, right around dinner time.
So that's the perfect time.
That's perfect time, right?
Yeah.
That's perfect time for everybody. In California, you're eating breakfast, getting ready for work.
I'm not mad at it.
12 o'clock New York time, your lunch break.
Yes.
In Africa, 7 o'clock, you're home eating dinner. Maybe we should be doing this at 12 every day. It's a perfect time.
Hey, I'm down for that.
All right. Meanwhile, did you check out the Oscars last night?
I did not.
Yes,
I just saw some of it.
Yeah, well, Parasite dominated the Oscars.
I did see that.
It is the first. It is the first picture first film, foreign film, to win Best Picture.
Wow.
It won also for Best Director, Best International Feature Film, and Best Original Screenplay.
That's amazing.
As far as I'm aware, the only other movie that won both... actually, that's not true. The other winner, I was thinking about the Best Foreign Film, Life is Beautiful, won Best Actor and Best Foreign Feature in the late 90s, but did not win Best Movie.
Okay.
So I was about to say, nope. Parasite is the first.
It's the first.
First one. I was about to say the second, but then I'm like, nope, it did not win Best.
Right.
Best. Parasite is the first non-English film and the first South Korean film to win Best Picture at the Academy Awards. Only 11 non-English language films have ever been nominated in this category. Now, I have not seen the movie.
Really?
Have you seen Parasite?
Yeah.
You saw it?
Yeah. That was on Obama's list.
Okay, I have not seen it, but apparently it's about a wealthy Korean family, and these people come in, I think, and try to, do jobs for them or something.
Yeah.
And
you have to watch it.
You have to watch it.
You have to watch it.
And there's some guy in a bunker somewhere living under the house.
You just have to watch it.
I don't want to do spoiler alert, but I haven't seen it. I've just heard little bits and pieces of it.
Don't listen to any more bits and pieces. Right. Just watch it.
Meanwhile, the South Korean film, which centers on two families on opposite sides of the economic gap. That's what it is about.
That's exactly what it is.
Now, heading into Sunday, the movie 1917, the World War I movie, was supposed to clean up.
And they didn't?
It did not clean up. So on social media, the win was hailed. Yes, Sandra Oh, who presented on Sunday night, said, "Congratulations at Parasite movie. So proud to be Korean." Actor Louis Tan tweeted, "The game has changed. I'm in tears. This is historic." Actor Paul Sun-Hyung Lee from Kim's Convenience wrote, "Look at all these Koreans on stage at the #Oscars. So proud. My heart is bursting." Meanwhile, the movie HairLove won for Best Animated Short Film. It was another win for diversity. HairLove is a story about a black father who struggles and eventually succeeds in styling his young daughter's hair, and that won the Academy Award for Best Animated Short Film. The story, which once existed only in the form of a dreamer and a Kickstarter campaign, is also the basis of a best-selling children's book. What else is happening? The Obamas produced a film.
Yes.
American Factory. It won for Best Documentary. It was a Netflix film. Former President Obama and First Lady Michelle Obama's production company won the Academy Award on Sunday for Best Documentary Feature. The project, from filmmakers Steve Bogner, Julia Eichert, and Jeff Eichert, followed the story of an Ohio factory after it was reopened by a Chinese billionaire.
That's awesome.
Brad Pitt, who I sometimes am mistaken for.
Yes.
Yes, because we look exactly alike.
Exactly. Have the same name,
same name, same everything, right?
Yeah.
Same body, same hair. I mean, look at his long hair, look at my long hair, right?
Yeah.
He won for Best Supporting Actor. Joaquin Phoenix is the Joker. Won Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress Laura Dern in Marriage Story. I don't know that movie. and Best Actress in Renee Zellweger in Judy.
Yeah,
She played Judy Garland.
Yeah.
I want to see that movie. It
I
looks
want to
really
now
good.
too. I didn't even know about it really.
Yeah.
But I love Renee Zellweger. That was actually a really good category because they had like Scarlett Johansson,
Right.
Cynthia, the one who played Harriet from Harriet Tubman, her. So yeah, it was a really good win for her.
And one of the biggest things I know leading up to the Oscars.
Oh,
was,
and Charlize Theron was one of them too. And,
but also talking about women, one of the biggest things leading up to the Oscars was the lack of women for Best Director year after year.
Yeah.
Apparently, women don't know how to direct movies.
No, they don't.
According to the Oscars.
Yeah,
but there was fabulous movies also that were directed. At least there should be women, at least certainly nominated.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you remember when Donald Trump killed that Iranian general, and the Iranians retaliated by lobbing some rockets over into Iraq and a U.S. Air Force base in Iraq, and Donald Trump came on and said, "No casualties, everything is good."
Lies.
Well, it's turned out that now from that attack, over 100 United States service members have been diagnosed with traumatic brain injuries in the wake of that attack. That was on January 8th. It's an increase of at least 36 cases from the end of January when the Pentagon said only 64 people were hurt, which is an increase from when Donald Trump tweeted nobody was hurt. Now, several Pentagon officials have told CNN last month, CNN is the one who's breaking this news, that the number of diagnosed cases is likely to continue to change. Approximately 200 people who were in the blast zone at the time of the attack have been screened for symptoms.
Wow.
So there was a huge payback by the Iranians, and a lot of people were injured.
Yeah.
It was not a simple thing that we killed a general and got away with it. We killed one general and we ruined over 100 people's lives, service members' lives. Talking about Parasite, the movie, which has nothing to do with the coronavirus.
Right.
But I guess the coronavirus is a parasite. China is now reporting that over 97 people died in the last 24 hours.
Sheesh.
The largest death rate from the coronavirus in one single day. Great Britain has declared the virus an imminent threat. France has tested 45 children and their parents after 5 British tourists contracted the virus at a ski resort.
Oh my God.
Basically, China has shut down. And you're going to see, if this coronavirus continues, supply chain problems in our economy. We're not going to be getting iPhones and iPads.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
You know, because all of these things are made in China.
Yeah.
I was just reading that the AirPods that you put in your ear, they're already thinking that they're not going to be able to get in the stores in the next couple of weeks unless China gets back to work. And right now, I mean, you have an area in China of 50 million people.
Wow.
That's more than most countries.
Yeah.
Okay? Pick a country with 50 million people.
There isn't.
Okay, there's a lot. Okay? I mean, but
like...
it's like the size... How many people live in France? Go Google how many people live in France right now. It's like taking France and saying, France, you stay home. Okay? 50 million people are now under quarantine in China. If you think about how bad this is... 66 million people live in France. 50, so you're basically taking the country of France and saying to everybody, think about it.
Yeah.
Stay home. Don't go out unless it's necessary. Nobody's going to work, and then nobody's going to work. Nobody's in the factories. The commerce has come to a halt, and you have the military. Going around preventing anyone from this area from leaving. Train stations are closed, airports are closed, and if anybody does walk out, apparently what's happening is that there are medical teams and military personnel with thermometers taking temperatures of everybody who's out on the street.
Yeah.
And if you're sick, you're put in isolation ward. And who knows what happens when you're put in isolation ward, you know? So it's really crazy what's going on there. Even in Beijing, that's not in the isolation zone, that city has come to a halt. Even the premier of China is walking around with masks on their face right now. So basically, all of China has come to a halt. But a section of China, the size of France, there's nothing going on there.
Right.
and everybody's sitting at home. Now
that's a lot. 50 million.
Yeah. Now, what's a little scary to me from China, and I'm not looking to be, I'm not looking to, conspiracy theory, but it's strange to me because I've read about this coronavirus, and what I've read is that basically it's a really bad flu. Except if you have an underlying medical problem, you're young or you're old, you should be able to survive it if you are treated properly. If you're not treated properly, yes, you can die as well. The doctor who was a young gentleman, the doctor who was a young guy, didn't seem to have any medical problems at all. He's the one who basically first came up and diagnosed this coronavirus in China. He was the one who brought it out publicly and said, we're going to have a problem, and the Chinese authorities discounted him.
Yeah.
He eventually caught the coronavirus and allegedly died. How did this young man die? Isn't that strange?
Absolutely.
Isn't that strange? Because most people live who is that age unless they had an underlying medical problem.
Well, something else that's strange is the family of a journalist, a Chinese journalist, who actually was speaking about the coronavirus before it became really big. Their family just said that he's been missing. So I'm thinking they're dropping them like one by one.
Yeah, I'm not buying that this guy died of. I buy he's dead. I'm just not buying he's dead of coronavirus.
Right. I think they killed him.
Maybe. Because basically, China wants you silenced. They want you silenced.
I'm telling you, the journalist that was talking about coronavirus, the Chinese journalist, the family said he's gone missing.
And that doctor all of a sudden just dies of coronavirus?
Like,
strange, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything's wrong. I have no evidence of this.
I have none either, but my tingling senses.
Your yo-yo senses,
yeah, my yo-yo senses. They're not feeling too good.
Baby boy saying something's wrong here.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in China, there's now 908 people who have died supposedly from this coronavirus. Most news outlets are saying that is a large undercount of the actual number of people who died. There are 40,000 cases confirmed mainland China. That is also probably undercounted. Now, compare this to the number of people who died from SARS and got sick from SARS. According to these statistics I'm looking at here, only 8,000 people got sick from SARS in China.
What?
So this is much worse than SARS.
Yeah.
There's a cruise ship right outside of Japan where they quarantined the Diamond Princess. They quarantined the entire boat. Over 124 people have been confirmed with coronavirus. They're not allowing anybody off the boat. It's crazy.
That's scary.
Yeah. So the health minister, and this is docked right outside of Japan. The health minister of Japan said he was considering testing all 3,711 passengers and crew, which would require them to remain on board until all the results are available. Health authorities are scrambling to deliver medicine requested by more than 600 passengers. Imagine you take a cruise ship and you're not allowed off. And then over 100 people on that cruise ship already have coronavirus, and you're sitting there.
I would be crapping in my pants.
Are you scared to get on a plane right now, Yo-Yo?
Yeah.
With this coronavirus?
Yeah, absolutely.
I am too.
I'm scared to get on the train.
I am too.
We had to shoot by. No offense, but we had to shoot by like Chinatown or something like that this weekend, and I was like, ooh.
You closed the window at the taxi.
I was a little afraid. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But I want now Chinatown's a little. That's being a little stereotyping, right?
It is, but listen, I have a Chinese friend that lives in Brooklyn that said that her family won't even go there right now. That's like how scared people are. So
that's a little because if you're gonna get sick from going to Chinatown, you're gonna get sick in Midtown too. Yeah, it's gonna go all over. Right, but also I'm scared to get on a plane. I just went out, actually, it's true, and bought the face mask.
The little mask?
The little mask.
But how is that supposed to really protect you?
It's not. Because you can get the virus in your eye,
yeah,
your
that's
ear,
what I'm saying.
But at least I feel like I'm being proactive.
Did you see the guy that was on the plane with a bubble?
No, I didn't see that.
Wait, I gotta find the picture.
I'm gonna be on a plane on Thursday. I'm scared to get on a plane, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. It's really scary. It's worse than Ebola.
Yeah.
Now, talking about planes, I don't know if you saw this. This is actually kind of cool. British Airways just broke a record for the fastest flight from New York to London that was not supersonic.
Oh, wow.
Did you hear that?
No.
The plane was going over 825 miles an hour. It made it from New York to London in under 5 hours.
What?
And the reason is because it was propelled by wind that was 200 mile per hour wind up in the atmosphere. So the Boeing 747 aircraft, it flew overnight from Saturday, Sunday, reached its destination from New York to London, from takeoff to touchdown, 4 hours and 56 minutes. The people didn't even get a chance to take a snooze.
Right.
You're like, I'm here. I want to sleep an hour or two.
Oh, man.
Now, the jet stream was moving like a fast river. That would scare me. Can you imagine you're in the plane, because you see it.
Do you feel it?
I don't know, but you see how, you watch the map.
Yeah.
And it says how fast the plane is going. I would start freaking out. This plane's going 800 miles an hour, like it would break up or something.
Yeah,
Wouldn't that scare you a little bit?
That is real scary.
Yeah, I don't want to go 800 miles an hour in a plane. And I also want to be able to sleep an hour or two.
Yes.
But I thought that was kind of cool, right? Now, Flight Radar announced the news of the record-breaking flight on its Twitter account, writing, "If we're not mistaken, British Air now retakes the fastest subsonic New York to London crossing from a Norwegian airline that beat it a few weeks earlier." Now, people are asking, well, if it was going over 800 miles an hour, how come it didn't have an explosion because you break the sound barrier like the old Concords? Because the plane was flying 200 of those 800 miles an hour was flying with the wind. It was actually subsonic because you have to actually be faster than the wind that you're going with. So it's actually, even though it's going 800 miles an hour, it was still subsonic because you subtract the 200 miles from the wind. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Oh, that's awesome.
And meanwhile, finally, Yo-Yo.
Excuse me.
Well, that's not finally. We have more here. I've got a lot of news today. Why not, right?
Okay.
Colorado City set off the world's largest firework. The world's largest firework launched Saturday night over the skies over Steamboat Springs, Colorado. The firework shell weighed more than 2,800 pounds. Do we have a video of this? Do we have a video of this? Let's watch this. Watch this. That was the largest firework ever.
What?
Yes. That was the largest firework ever. It weighed over 2,800 pounds. It was basically the weight of it. They shot up a firework. It was about the same weight of a Toyota Corolla.
Damn.
Okay? They shot up a Toyota Corolla up into the sky. Now, the explosives propelled the shell out of this basically tube that was the size of and weight of a Toyota Corolla at 300 miles an hour. Why did they do this, I wonder?
Yeah,
Let's see why.
I want to know.
Project manager and financier Tim Borden said in a press release, "We invested hundreds of hours into this project, and we anticipate that we will enjoy the satisfaction of this success for months to come." An official from Guinness World Record attended the launch. And it's the same official who comes for our speed round. And they presented a certificate to Borden and his team of 3 men. The team tried to break the record last year, but the shell exploded a little too early. So basically, they were just trying to make a Guinness Book of World Record of the largest firework.
Really?
What do you think of this whole Gayle King thing?
Woo!
So, for those who don't know, Gayle King, who is Oprah's BFF, right? She's the co-host of CBS This Morning, and she's had a huge backlash since she asked WNBA star Lisa Leslie about allegations of Kobe Bryant's rape case. Now, King, little backstory here, it was a long interview.
Yes.
And that was one of many questions that King asked Lisa Leslie, but CBS, when they edited the piece, just edited it for the most salacious part of that interview and only showed that one question. So the interview was done subsequent to the death of Kobe Bryant. Leslie was a longtime friend of the NBA legend, and she said in the interview, "It's not complicated for me at all. Bryant was not the kind of person that would do something to violate a woman or be aggressive in that way. That's just not the person that I know." Now, more backstory, which you know, but for those who don't, Kobe was accused in 2003 of sexually assaulting a 19-year-old hotel employee in Colorado. He was charged with rape, but the case was dropped after the accuser declined to testify. A civil suit was later settled. The NBA star admitted to having had sex with this 19-year-old woman, but insisted it was consensual. Now, King's reference to the rape case in the wake, I got to get this all out, in the wake of Kobe Bryant's death led to swift outrage. Many people slammed King as trying to tarnish Kobe's legacy and having an agenda against black men. Now, some major celebrities even went as far to attack King on social media. Snoop Dogg made a series of posts, some in which he called King and Oprah bitches and hoes. And he threatened King, saying, "Respect the family and back off, bitch, before we come get you." Now, rappers like Boozy Badass and 50 Cent followed suit, with 50 Cent even posting a side-by-side picture of King and Nancy Pelosi with the text, "We the black delegation trade Chewbacca, a.k.a. Gayle King, for Nancy Pelosi." So now, King responded to the backlash in 2 videos posted on her Twitter page last Thursday morning, calling out CBS for editing this improperly and not providing the full context of the interview. Today, people started defending Gayle King with the hashtag I stand with Gayle, and that started to trend. Now, Oprah had jumped into the fray because Oprah is best friends with Gayle, and she says, "I think anybody can criticize anything, but the misogynistic vitriol and the attacking to the point where it is dangerous to be on the streets alone, because it's not just the people who are attacking, it's the other people who take the message and feel they can do whatever they want to because of it." Let's play that.
May I say she is not doing well, because she has now death threats and has to now travel with security.
And and what Oprah and Gayle King is saying is, she's a newscaster, she's a journalist, and part of being a journalist is to ask tough questions. You may disagree with the answer, you may disagree that you asked the question, but that, she says, is her job. What do you think?
Well, first, I would love to hear what the Brad Squad thinks as well, because y'all not really saying too much, but I know that you guys have opinions on this, and this is why we actually do these type of topics. So my thing is, I'm a journalist. I have, been in this industry for like 15 years now. This is the thing. We as in black people have not had the representation of a top journalist like of her stature, of Oprah, back in the day. So back in the day, especially when around the time that Kobe's trial went on, in the household, you'll have like 2 different conversations. In the white household, because it was a white female, you'll have the conversation of the O.J. Simpson. You got to be careful from these like black pro ballers. And then in the black household, you'll have conversations on Emmett Till, where a white woman said that a 13, 14-year-old kid whistled at her when he really didn't. And they beat him to death, shot him in the head as a 14-year-old person. You know what I mean? So it's like when, back then we didn't have a representation to really stand up for us. So the fact that we have that now, and this is how she wants to use that platform, is really disheartening, and it's disappointing. There's a way to ask the question without accusing. And the way she was doing it was she was trying to get something out of Lisa with a response. So even when she responded and said, as a woman, I cannot see that happening, I as his friend. And then she kind of questioned her womanhood. It was like, well, as a woman, you would feel this way? And that could ruin Lisa's career and her name as well. So the fact that she would do that.
Okay, so I can understand your position. What do you think of the response, though? Was that appropriate?
Whose?
Snoop Dogg's.
No, absolutely
Cent.
not. Absolutely not.
Right, your response says, I don't like what she asked.
I don't like what she asked, and I don't like how she uses her and Oprah. I don't like how they use their platform to degrade successful black men. But no person should ever get spoke about like this, especially an older black woman. You don't call an older black woman a bitch, a dog-faced bitch. You don't call them any of these. But you can disagree without being disrespectful, because then it's just 2 wrongs. and it doesn't make it right. You know, that I would kill somebody if somebody calls my mom something like that. You know what I mean?
You could disagree.
Yeah.
But you could disagree respectfully.
And I disagree respectfully.
Would there ever be a time when you're discussing Kobe? Now, obviously, it's right after his death.
Yeah.
And maybe that's not the appropriate time. Is there ever a time, do you think, in 1 year or 3 years or 5 years, that it would be safe for somebody to go back and look at his career?
I'm just saying. Yeah, I know, but I'm about to answer
the good and the bad, and say, did he do anything wrong in this particular instance?
I'm about to answer your question. You know when that time was? When he was alive. Because she could have easily asked him for that. She got an interview with R. Kelly, and she had this huge moment which went viral. That like blasted her career.
But the same thing happened with Michael Jackson.
Thank you. This is what they were trying to do. They were trying to get a viral moment, and it went wrong, and it backfired, and now she's trying to backpedal and say, oh, it's because CBS. No, it's not.
So is there any difference between that with Michael Jackson and the child molestation?
Absolutely. He's dead. He was acquitted. Like, the case is closed. It's the same thing.
Right.
So
what happens if he was not black? If he was a white man, would it matter the color of his skin? He was a successful white guy.
No, it's the same thing. That he's dead.
Right. So he's not here to defend himself.
No.
Anymore.
Like it's a human being thing. Like not the white and black thing, but of course the reason why the black community is so hurt is because it's one of our own. You know what I mean? Right. So that's a whole different story. But me personally, if it was a white man, I still would have said the same thing. Like the lady had multiple DNAs, like sperm in her panties. You know what I mean? Like this is what happens with pro ballers. This is what I'm trying to victim shame or anything. But if that is the case and that was what came out of it, that he was innocent, then he was innocent. There's no reason to bring that up. When his family, his wife and 2 daughters that are living are crying every day. Was it 3? They have 3 daughters now because one of them died. So, like they don't want to hear that type of stuff.
All right. I kind of agree with you. I'm trying to take the opposite, but I kind of agree with you.
Yeah, I mean,
as I'm listening to you, I'm trying to say, okay, well, where do I disagree with Yo-Yo? And I really can't come up with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is her job. She is a journalist. It is her job. So the way she could have asked, she could have easily said, we want to, we want to be respectful to his legacy and his family and all that, but ask the question to where she's not insinuating that he did it. Like the way she was asking it was like, are you sure though? What
do we say or what do we do about the entertainers who went and attacked her? And
they're backpedaling as well. Snoop Dogg
they owe an apology.
They do owe an apology. And Snoop Dogg did come out and he did do a video saying, I did not mean, I might have spoke ill because that's the emotions that I felt at the time, but I'm not going to put anybody out on her. I'm not putting a hit on her. I'm not going to hurt her. I'm not going to harm her. So like he kind of backpedaled as well. So he understood that what he did was wrong.
People have to understand that words matter. Especially when you are in a position of respect, or you have a lot of followers, or maybe you have a lot of followers you're not respected. But all of these men have positions of respect, have a lot of followers who take what they say seriously.
Yeah.
Same as Donald Trump.
Yeah.
When Donald Trump says something wrong, I get scared that people are going to come and do something.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
Because it's not, it's the words that you use are hurtful. Mm-hmm. They're not nice. They're disrespectful. And then you also have to wonder, what about the people who don't understand that these are just words and may act out on them?
Exactly.
All right. Why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready to start answering some immigration questions?
All right, guys. Yes, great conversations. Thank you guys all for actually putting your opinions in the comment section as well.
Thanks for watching. For more Brad Show Live, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel.